watch our interaction.
Okay.
Okay, Assalamualaikum and good evening. Hello and welcome to today's webinar. I'm Najib Jaafar from Malaysia Art School, Johor, and I'm the moderator of today's webinar. Our webinar today is all about the introduction to storytelling by using Runlinc programming. We want to make a simple phone app to tell a story. We want it to utilize Runlinc ability to integrate STEM, AI, and also IoT into projects. This webinar is brought to you all by Malaysian STEM Teacher Association, MASTA, in collaboration with Stemsel Foundation from Adelaide University, Australia. Before we start, let me explain on how you can communicate with us during the webinar. If you have any question during the presentation, just write them in the chat column. So for your information, we are live broadcasting by using Zoom platform into YouTube channel by using the PGSM YouTube channel. Now, after this, we will have Q&A session at the end of our meet today to answer your question if you have any. Now let's begin. We are pleased to welcome our special guest, Prof. Miroslav Kostecki, who is well known as Prof. Miro, Chief Technical Officer of Stemsel Foundation, focusing on AI social business startups, Vice Chancellor Technology Transfer of Central University Institute Bamenda in Cameroon. He is the inventor of Runlinc code programming. So without further ado, with pleasure, let me welcome Prof. Welcome, Prof. We are so glad you could be here today to teach us how to make a storytelling like and what is actually storytelling all about. So before this, we already learned how to make a camera streaming, how to make a button, how to make a traffic light with shape, and we already learned how to create a shape, different shape, a circle, rectangular. So that's really interesting. So today we're going to upskill our knowledge to learn how to make storytelling. So Prof, the floor is yours.
Okay, hello everyone and welcome to our storytelling app week. We're actually doing project A4 today. So the project A4 document I will get up, and for those of you that might have tried it earlier, I'm sure it wouldn't have any problems. But right now we actually have to change the link in there. So I will show you how to actually open that at the moment. All right, so I'll just share, first of all, the document which we are going through. So let me do that. Okay, so this is the document, the online project A4. And at the moment, and this is the form that we will be using, but this direct link actually has a problem. So I will send another link. Okay, I think I have shared a link on this Zoom, so hopefully it can also be shared also on the Google as well. I hope that's been done. Has that been shared to everybody?
Yes, I
Okay.
just copy the link and I put on the YouTube comment column.
Okay, very good. Yes. Okay, so so let me just go through the introduction first. So we're going to make a simple storytelling app, and we're going to integrate the STEM, the AI, and the IoT into a project. And as we have said before, the Runlinc is on a web page. So this web page you can use on the phone, so it can become a phone app, or you can use it on the laptop or a tablet. But today, you can use on the phone. Project which we're going to do is going to be a little bit different, because at the end you are going to have a link, and in fact you can make many stories and have many links as well for your stories, or you can change it. But this will be a permanent link. So that means that when you actually do the storytelling app, it will go up onto the Runlinc server, and you will be able to open it later, or you can actually share it to other people too. So it'll become like a little web page, which will be available to your phone or to your tablet or onto your laptop. Okay, so obviously it's important for us to be able to pass on information to other people, and the storytelling app is able to do these. So what we plan to do is to create an app. It's not going to use the accelerometer today. Originally, our Runlinc can also access the accelerometer also on the Android phones, but recently what happened is the iPhone actually stopped the accelerometer access. So we've taken that out of the page to make sure that if you have an iPhone, it will also be working. Okay, so we have here an example of an app, so that, for example, this one here, if I click on that link, then I will also have problems at the moment. If you want to see the link, just put elabtronics.com in front of the runlinc.com. So let me share the link with you. Okay, so that you have the correct link so that you can see it for today. So let me just do that. And then we can see the example. Okay, let me just make sure that we have that open. Okay, I'm just opening that link, and I will share that as well, because that is coming up. So this is the example link. Okay, I'll put that onto the Zoom so that it can also be shared on the chat so that we can have a look at that. And let me share the example with you as well. You can actually open that and have a closer look and try it yourself. Okay, let me explain what actually happens on this app, and then we'll see how we can make one of these ourselves. So I'm going to share the page. And this is the web page which comes up. So this app was actually made by Krishna in Malaysia, and he is actually a school student and 11 years old, and he was able to use the storytelling app over there as well. So this is a few pictures that he's put in from his school. So we can put in one picture. He has assembled many pictures into one, and then we can upload the one picture. Okay. So he's put in a few lines. He's put in welcome to the storytelling app, and then he's been able to put in the hello message over here, and this comes up automatically on the app. Enter email to hear our voice, press start, and then tilt the phone. Okay. So on his app, he actually has still the tilting of the phone. So if it doesn't work for you, that's okay, because today we won't use the tilting. We have the enter email because this app also is able to send more information to an email. So if you send it to someone, they can enter their email in there. So for example, if I enter my email, which is miro@stemsel.com, and then press the start, then there will...
Initializing setup. Hello, Honourable Malaysia.
Okay, so there will be a voice. Okay. And that voice also will start when you tilt the phone, will actually also start the message as well. And you can stop the tone and start the tone as
Hello,
it tilts.
Honourable Malaysia.
Okay, but today we're not going to have the tones or the tilting, but this is the capability of the Runlinc. Okay, so this is one example. Let me just stop that one because I also want to show you another example which is done more recently as well by a student. There was a student in Convent Butterworth School, and she actually recently used this to make an app to say thank you to all her sponsors, because recently with the COVID, the Convent Butterworth School actually had some sponsors to give some food boxes to some parents. Okay, so let me share that one as well. We'll just get that one. Okay, I'm just getting that app as well.
Oh.
Okay, that's not coming up. I'll get that example app as well a little bit later, but maybe what we can do is we can open the page and we can have a look as to how we can use this to create our app. Okay, so I've given you that first link. So the first link actually goes to some forms. So this is the forms. Okay, Runlinc storytelling app form. So what this does is it has Internet of Things because it sends information to an email address. It has STEM to make phone apps, or even works on the laptop as well. And it uses AI, which is the power of the speech synthesis. So today you will be introduced also the text to voice. So whatever text you will put in, it will actually tell the story. Okay, so there is some instructions there on the storytelling app, and I think that sample is the same one that I showed you for Krishna as well, so you need to open that second link. All right, so the first thing that we need to do is we need to fill in a form for our name, and that name will actually be part of the link that you have. So of course you can change that later. If you go back to the form, you could put in a number 1, 2, 3, and you can create some more storytelling apps. So I'm going to type in Miro example. Okay, so it's an example today that we're doing. And then my email. And let me make this bigger for you so that people might be able to see it better as well. And put in the phone number. Okay, many people have my WhatsApp number. All right, so the first part of the storytelling app that we saw was the title and 2 or 3 sentences summary. So let me put in a title. So let me put, for example, this is my example storytelling app. And then I can put in a summary. So I can put in this app uses STEM, IoT, and AI to tell a story. Okay, and it also we can put in this works on phone, tablets, or laptop.
Didn't record.
Okay.
Recording in progress.
Myro, the voice is coming out. It's not our own voice, right?
Sorry?
The voice coming out is not our own voice. Right? Is this a computer voice or what?
So when we do the voice message, yes, it would, the text will be converted to the AI. Will be converted to the AI voice from the text using the browser. So it will be the browser's voice actually showing that. So if the browser is actually on the phone, then it will use the phone browser or the browser on the tablet or the browser on the laptop to actually do the voice. Okay, and you might even find that different browsers actually have a different sounding voice there as well. I was surprised one day when the app was sent, for example, to India, and it sounded very English Australian to me when I did it, but when someone opened it in India, then it actually had an Indian accent voice as well. So the apps in different regions have different voice there as well. Okay, so we can put in there also a voice message. So we can put in, so hello, I am the AI in Runlinc, and I will be telling your story. And of course, you can put in actually your own story as well, and we'll show you some more examples of that as well. Okay, and you can put in more sentences as well. So you can tell your own story. Okay, so that's the voice, and we can put in the voice in there, and we can put in quite a story in there. So the front page title should be short. The voice message maybe should be a little bit longer with more information. And then the email message should also be longer again. So if someone goes to the email, then they can also get more information also for that as well. So I can put in an example. So this email is from Miro's storytelling app, and we'll have more information. Okay, and then you can add more information in there, and good. All right. So at the end, we'll show you what actually happens, and then also I will show you how you can improve the look of this app also. All right. So we can also go back when we submit this app. So what I will do is I will submit it. I'll go through the photo link also in a minute. But even without the photo, we can actually submit it so we can take a look, and then we can also go back. Okay, so if we submit the app, then it will create a link. Okay, so we press OK. Okay, and just change for today the electronics.com, okay, because we're just working on the server at the moment. So just change it to HTTPS is okay, electronics.com, and just press enter, and you will see the storytelling app. So just add in the electronics.com before the runlinc.com just for today. And this is the example storytelling app. Okay, there is a couple of things here that maybe we don't want on our app. So you notice, for example, that I typed in the lines separately, but it put all of the lines together like this at the top. So how to separate the lines? Well, we can also use some HTML directive, which is BR. So we've learned a little bit of HTML, but what we can do when we use BR is separate the lines. What that does is it makes the text go to the next line. Okay, so the triangle bracket BR means that it will go to the next line. So we can separate that. Put in a BR there as well, a break. And this is the same also in your email message. If you have more than one, you can also insert breaks. So for example, if I put a break here, then I can put another sentence here. In fact, I can also put in a gap like this, put in a space, and I can put another sentence. So this is the next paragraph. Okay, so that will go to the next line. This one will create a gap, and this one will go to the next paragraph when it sends the email out as well. So let's see what difference that makes. If we press the submit button, okay, uploading, just change that again to the electronics.com. If you use this tomorrow, then we would have fixed this. Okay, we'll just have an issue at the moment. So you can see that the lines are actually separated. So this one here is separated from here. And we can also put another BR to create a gap in there as well. Okay, so we could create a gap All right. So this is how we can put in the text into our storytelling app. What we want to do now is see how we can also enter a picture. By the way, where do we see our email? Well, the email will come when we type in the email address. So let me do that now, because we haven't actually heard the voice yet, have we?
Prof, can I ask you one question?
Yes.
Can we put coding inside the box in web app form like we did before?
Yes, you can put in the HTML code, just like the BR. We can do other HTML code there too. So some students have also used HTML to insert things like more pictures from the web and other things there too into the app. So they can do that. Okay, so if I type in an email address, then it will actually, if I press start,
Initializing setup.
you can actually
Hello,
hear
I
the
am
voice.
the AI in Runlinc and I will be telling your story. You can tell your own story.
Initializing setup.
Okay, did everybody hear that?
Hello, it's me, Sikho Najib.
Maybe
I will be
what
telling
I'll
your
do
story,
is
the story about
It's a
my
robot
journey and
share.
expedition to
Yeah.
Mount
Robot
Ledang
voice.
last year.
Yes, that's right. Let me just share the sound so that it's more clear. Okay, and then I'll play that again. Just stop it and start it again.
Initializing setup. Hello, I am the AI in Runlinc and I will be telling your story. You can tell your own story.
Okay.
Myro,
Also, one of the things that you
yours
may...
is different, Myro.
Sorry?
Yours is different. Your voice is different from my voice. My voice is a man voice.
Yes, the browsers actually have different voices. That's right.
Oh.
That's right.
So do you want to explain how this voice is, briefly, how this voice is generated?
So the voice is actually generated by the Runlinc. The Runlinc can actually use just 3 lines of code to take the voice message. So this is the voice message. Okay, and then it can put it into the JavaScript and then turn the JavaScript into voice sound on there as well. So that's how it works. You might have noticed also that when you do the voice, then sometimes if it has words in there which is not English, such as the Runlinc, then it might not pronounce it
Initializing
correctly.
setup.
So to actually
Hello,
say Runlinc
it's me,
correctly,
Sikho
we might
Najib.
need to do
I will be
this.
telling your story,
Actually put
the
in
story about my journey and
like
expedition
that,
to
so
Mount
that it
Ledang
says
last
Runlinc
year.
The
when
pronounce is the
it
same.
pronounces it correctly. That's right. So now if I do it again, do the submit, okay, and then put in the elabtronics.com. Okay, so now we'll try it again and see if the voice comes out better. So press the start.
Initializing setup. Hello, I am the AI in Runlinc and I will be telling your story. You can tell your own story.
Okay, so that time it actually said Runlinc correctly. All right, so sometimes we need to actually change the text in the voice message so that the voice will actually pronounce it correctly, even if the spelling is not correct. So sometimes we need to do that. So for example, if you want to put in something like Dr. Peng in there, then if you put a DR Peng, then it will not actually work because it'll just say DR Peng. But if you actually spell out doctor, then it will pronounce the correct word. Okay, so we need to be careful and we can test it and then we can go back again to check that as well. Okay.
I think some people have tested in Bahasa before. You can experiment with that. And Bahasa is close to English, so it would be able to pronounce Bahasa also. The browser would change the text. Bahasa text into artificial intelligence voice. That's the part where we show students and teachers This app is actually a demonstration of AI voice, AI, as well as Internet of Things, because it sends you an email also.
Correct. Yes, that's right.
How many person can use the same link, the same app form?
Sorry, what was the question again? Sorry.
Because at the same time you are filling up the apps form, right? I'm also filling up the apps form, but the voice is from a man. I don't know how many students can use the same form at the same time.
We can have
no
many
limit.
students at the same time. There's not a problem with the students using the same form, because this is just hosted, and you can have 1 million students if you want. There's no problem with that. This is just a hosted form, and also then it doesn't use up very much space at all, so there's no problem with that either, because it's actually a very small app. So Runlinc is very efficient in that regard. So it can actually create a very small HTML page as well.
Recording stopped.
Very little storage on there.
I think the thing to point out is, why are we using these types
Recording in
of
progress.
apps to teach students, is to give them the competitive advantage. When they go into competition, to build up the confidence that they are actually starting to do STEM projects, which has Internet of Things and AI. And then they have the chance to then persuade the judges as to how do they explain which part is AI, which part is Internet of Things, and using the phone device, which is a STEM equipment. So this storytelling app, even though is quite simple, it's actually will lead to other more advanced projects once the concept is in the mind that they can do it easily. And of course, you can imagine they will go on to from storytelling app into making their own website using Runlinc, their own personal website. A web page, I think the last week, maybe you have seen it already or not, use only 2 lines of code to make their own web page, even with 2 buttons. And so their own ABC website, personal website, can display even real-time data, of the sensing that they do for the temperature inside the room or outside the room or inside the farm, the pH. So all these data would be able to be displayed as graphs on their own personal website. So this type of expressive learning is very, very critical in terms of pedagogy, of application. Yeah, we got a question from Jegu Suhaili. How many sentences can we put in the voice message, Niro?
Okay, you can put in many sentences in the voice message, and it can go for many minutes, but sometimes when the voice message is too long, then the people might become tired of listening to the voice. So you have to be careful that it's not too long. That's why I suggest just putting a little bit of information on the front of your app, put a little bit more in the voice, and then put in even more in the email so that there's a bigger explanation in the email.
Yeah.
It's better to do it that way. So you limit it, maybe have your story maybe about half a minute or a minute is usually good. And also then, of course, everybody wants to listen to an interesting story as well. So you need to be quite precise with your story when you do it as well.
In the email, obviously, you can add links, your own video, story, and whole paragraph or whatever, how many pages or PDF that you want to attach, right? Because it's an email. So for this storytelling app, also you can add pictures, photographs. Is that something that you're going through, Miro?
Yes, that's right. So I will actually show also how to do the pictures. and what are the options for the pictures too, because there's a few options there for the pictures.
Sure. There was another question there. Did you see the question from another teacher there?
Can we use the same email address to create other stories? Yes, you can. It's up to you. It doesn't limit it to the email address. So you can create stories with other stories with the email address. If you just change your name a little bit, then it will create another app in another location. And also remember, it's very important that when you do the submit form, let me just show you that, because I'll just go back to my app here. Okay, so this is my app. So when you submit form, it actually creates a link to your app. So this link here, which I've highlighted in blue, will be your link. Okay, so don't lose that link. So the best thing to do maybe is to copy that link. So for example, if I copied that link, then I could share that link also. Okay, so then that link can be shared. It can be shared on WhatsApp, or it can be shared also on the Zoom, or it can be shared in other places as well. So that will be your link. Okay, so if you close the form, then of course you may lose that, but just make sure that you save that somewhere as well.
Prof,
that's so important.
what is the purpose to enter our email? What is the purpose to enter our email in the box? Can we listen to the voice without entering any email?
So the purpose of entering the email is because there is more information in this app. So when we press the start, then that information, which is in the email box, so this is the email box, that information will be sent to the user. So you're making an app for other people to have a look at your information. They will see the information on the front page. They'll listen to the information with the AI voice, and then they will also get more information on the email. So it is their email which they are putting in, and then this email message will be sent to them on their email.
Okay.
Okay, so they can put in their own email and they can see the message.
I understand. Thank you, Prof.
Okay, makes sense. Okay, that's good. All right, so let's have a look here also at the pictures. So we have upload photos. So if we click here to upload your photo here, then we go to a service which is IMGBB, ImageBB. Okay, this is a free service where you can upload your images. So you can upload it to this service, and then it will create a link which you can put in to the front page. So it says here that you can drag and drop and paste the image, or you can browse from your computer the image, or you can actually add images from URLs. A URL is a web image. So if you have an image on the web which you want to add, then you can also add the image from the internet. So it is the address of the image. If you see a picture on the internet and you right click, it will say copy image URL or the address of the image at the top. So you can add those as well. So let me just give an example. So I'm going to add an image of my own. So I'm just going to go and put in a picture of mine, which I had a picture of myself with a drone. Okay, so then we have the image over here, and you can see that we might need to edit that image because it might need to be rotated, I think. Let me see. Okay. Right, don't see a rotation button. You might need to rotate the image then before you submit the image. Okay. Let's submit it as an example. Okay, if we do an upload, see it uploads quickly. Okay, and then we can copy the link. So the viewer links there, we simply press the copy and I'll just minimize that. And then that can actually be pasted here, front page photo link. We then do the paste. Then we have the link for the front page photo there as well. So this time if we submit this, then it will actually include the image on the front page. And we can also do similar and put in a link for the image for the email as well. So let's submit that. Okay. So one image. All right. Let me just try. Okay. Let's try submitting an image then from the internet. I'll just get another image. I'm having difficulty with my screen. Okay, let me just get another image.
Prof, I using the HTML coding to paste inside the front page photo link box. So I get my picture.
Yes.
So you can attach multiple pictures also there. Cikgu Najib is there. And so there's a technique to include multiple pictures.
Yes, at first I using the viewers links, but it cannot function. My picture cannot be viewed. But when I using the HTML full link, I copy the HTML full link, then my picture can be viewed.
Yeah, I think pasarnya majority making like.
So did you hear that, Miro, from teacher Najib?
So sorry, say that again.
I'm using at first time. I'm using the view link. I copy the view link and paste at the front page photo link box, and my picture cannot be viewed. And second time, I'm using the HTML full link. Then it's all right. My picture can be viewed.
So you needs to have the HTML full link on there. That's right. Yes. So everyone needs to make sure that that they put that in, that it has the full HTML link on there. That's actually very important. Okay. So how to get the full HTML link is you can also paste the link into your browser, and then the full HTML link will come up at the top as well. Okay. So that will come up as well.
Oh, yes, correct.
Okay. Also, I'm going to show you also how...
Recording stopped. Recording in progress.
Right, sorry, I'm going to show you also how you can also use a picture from another location. So let me share the screen for that as well. So share the screen. Okay, so here we have one of the pictures which is on our Runlinc page. So if we do a right click, then we can actually copy, it says copy image link. So we can copy the image link on there as well. We can go to the Runlinc form, and then if we want to use that on the front image, then we can paste. And we have this image link over here. And then when we submit that form, okay, then we can simply press OK. And make sure you just change that to elabtronics.com. And then you have that picture on just before your text. Okay, so the picture is actually then before your text. So this is also similar in the email, that your picture will actually come before the text as well. Okay. All right. I guess at the moment, I suppose I'll just see if there's any more questions about this, and then I might also show you some other examples of what other students have done as well, and explain how they have also expanded this app so that they can do some more things on the page.
Prof. Mayo, there is one question from
Yes.
Cikgu Sohaili. He asked if I want to use the AI voice from UK pupil to hear their English slang. Is it possible?
Use our voice from where, sorry?
We want to use different type of voice. For example, I want to use AI voice from India, like India or US or UK or even British slang, like that.
Okay, so the AI voice is actually set in your browser. So you could actually go to the browser settings and actually change the AI voice that it uses. Also, you might find that on your phone settings, there is also a voice settings for your phone as well. So if it's a browser on your laptop, then the browser might have a list of different voices. And on your phone, then there is often a list of voices. And sometimes you can also get a link to your browser, such as Chrome, and you can plug in different voices as well. So if you look up voice plugin, then you can also change the voice. So, and there are many options on there. I'm sure they will include not only what you said, but many others as well. Probably some funny voices too. Hope that answers your question. Any more questions?
So far, no, Prof.
Okay, very good. All right, so I'm also just finding also an app also from Yijun, because Yijun actually did an app recently, like I said, for her storytelling app. And I just wanted to show you that one also as an example. So see if I can find that one again. Okay, a couple of weeks ago, when there was actually a lockdown and the students had to be at home in Malaysia, she made this storytelling app. And she put it into her group. Okay, here we are. Okay, I have found it. Okay. All right, I'm just having some trouble accessing that app at the moment, but yeah, so there are many things we can do with the storytelling app. There are even some storytelling apps that are being used to help promote tourism at this time, for example. So, for example, in Nepal and also in Bhutan, there's been a downturn in the tourism. And some of the students there have actually used this to promote the tourism there as well, so that they can help to show what is the good value of being able to go in certain places, maybe not very far as well, so they can show the different areas. And some of the apps have also been able to tell the story of animals, or being able to actually be shown for a project. So, for example, imagine being able to submit a story to your teacher of if you had to do an assignment. So you could actually use the app to make an assignment. Okay. So any more questions at this stage?
Oh, yes, Prof. From Cikgu Sohaili, can we add more information to our web app form, so we can like modify our form? Is it possible to modify our form?
While the form is still open, then you can modify the form. If you close the form, then you don't have access to that form, only to see the form. So if you think you might need to modify the form later, then it may be a good idea to copy the text that you have and put it into maybe a Word file for later, so that you can put it into the form. So at the moment, I have been modifying my form because I've kept that web page open. And then when I've had a look at the app, then I actually go back to the other page, and I've added some things such as the picture to the page, for example, or change the lines. Okay, so you can do that until it looks good, and then you can copy it. But when you close that, then there is not actually access back to the form. No, so you will need to copy that to a Word file and then reopen the form and then paste those sections in. Okay, in case you might want to change it later. That's a good question.
Yeah.
Okay, any other questions? And I apologize today about the links. We actually changed some things on our Runlinc server, and didn't quite have time to finish those links, but all of those links will be back later today.
There's another question. Can we put colors or icon in the form or background?
Okay, that's also a very good question. Yes, and in the HTML, you can actually use colors in the HTML as well. So let me show you a good example. That's because that's a good question. So if I share the screen, okay, let me go back to my, it's not sharing.
Absolutely. Cikgu Suhaili. Kids need to be
Yes.
to be excited. The student needs to be excited.
Colorful.
Yeah,
Colorful.
look at this picture. That is a High Commissioner, by the way. He lives in Kuala Lumpur. That is our Australian High Commissioner congratulating Max, who win the ITEX competition. He was only 13 years old, and he was the runner-up, I think, is about 17 years old.
Oh.
So using Runlinc, you can see how little are the kids there. And they are doing the work that surprised the High Commissioner. And so he come all the way to support them. So then the teachers and your students can network with our government representative, Australian government representative in Kuala Lumpur.
Yeah.
And there is a senior manager there called Adil Akbar. He's a Malaysian paid by the Australian government to build relationship between Australia and Malaysia.
So this was taken in KL. It was actually taken in Malaysia.
At
So they
ITEX.
went to Malaysia at ITEX.
ITEX invention competition. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can, did you show how to make multiple pictures there? Is that maybe some teachers want to add a few pictures together? Or you can put them into a collage. You know, you collect all the picture, 4 picture, make in the group, and then you have 1 picture to add. Otherwise, you can also add multiple pictures.
So I'm just going to W3 schools, and if you go to HTML, you can actually see that you can put in lots of colors, Dodge blue, slate blue, etc. And how we do that is we actually have an example here as well. So this is the example. So over here we have a color which is called Dodger blue, and it uses H1, which is a large heading, and we can change this color. So we would actually use this to change the color over here as well. So how do we actually use this in the app? Well, if we did a line such as that, we can copy it, put it into the app. If I go back to my app and just put it over here at the front, okay, then I can change my text, which is, this is my example storytelling app. So I can delete that part. And then I can put the H1. So I cut that and put it here at the end. So what that is that it will be a heading and the style will be blue, and then this is inside the heading. So let's just split the line a little bit. And by the way, on this page, you can pull down the page, so you can make the page bigger.
Yeah.
So you can see, I think that's important too, that you can actually make the page bigger and put in more information. So then now this style, the background color, which is the Dodger blue, but you can also make it the foreground color, but this is the background color, and it will also have a large heading. This is my example storytelling app. So let's see what that does. If we do a submit on that one. Okay, and then put in the elabtronics.com. Okay, so you can see that the background for this is now blue on here as well. So this background is blue. Okay, and if we wanted the actual text to be that color, then we don't need to use the background color. We can simply put the word color.
Prof, can we put a picture as our background in storytelling page?
Yes, you can use the HTML codes to do many things. So you can have a style with a picture in the background instead of a color, for example, as well. So you can use the HTML then to modify the page. So that's what I'm showing you. they go to W3 Schools, and you can actually then edit your page, and you can practice your HTML and laying things out, which is also a very good idea as well.
Prof, beside that, can we use our own voice instead of AI voice, or we able to mix our voice with AI, like human being talking with AI in the storytelling conversation?
Okay, to do that, you would need to do a recording. So obviously you're using your voice. So you'll do a recording, and then you would actually then put it into a link, and then you can add the link as a HTML. Then you could have that as part of, but that is more difficult, but it can be done. Of course, what we're doing is we're making the form so that you can get started easily, and then you can actually build these things too. So you can do many things on the web page, including adding in sounds as well as the pictures.
Okay, thanks.
You might want to put a picture, for example, of a tiger in there, describe the tiger, and actually have a recording of the tiger in there as well. So you can add in the recordings. Okay, any other questions?
Prof, just now we learned how to put our picture in our storytelling web. So is it we able to put video inside our storytelling page? The method is similar.
Yes, so instead of it being a link to a picture, then it would be a link to a video.
Oh.
So you could actually put in the YouTube video, or you can even use the HTML embed directive and put in the YouTube video box in there as well. So yeah, YouTube actually allows you to do that. If you have a video, then it will actually give you a link where you can embed it into your web page. Okay, any more questions? These are all very good questions. Excellent. I can see many people are getting engaged with this as well. What I would like to see, though, is I would like to see if
Recording
people,
stopped.
People can actually also
Recording in progress.
share it and maybe put it also to other people in the community, other teachers, and maybe into our WhatsApp group as well. So we want to see your storytelling links in your WhatsApp group so that we can also see what you have created. Okay, we can be very creative with this. Of course, we don't need to be bogged down with the code, but we can actually be very creative. Okay, any other questions or comments?
So far, no, Prof. So far, so good.
Myro.
Yes?
I just want to ask, can we just use our own voice and mix it with the AI voice? Like somebody are talking in the storytelling conversation. My own voice, I'm talking with the AI voice.
Yes. I think we did have that question before, and I said we can actually do recording on there as well. So if we did a recording, and then we would put that recording in and embed it similar to the picture in the HTML.
Okay. It's possible there.
Yeah.
Instead of storytelling, we can do a drama in the apps.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, very good. You can become very, very creative. Any more questions? I think we should try it, and I would like to see all your beautiful apps with your pictures and videos and colors and many things in there as well. Many students have been very creative as to what they can do with the app.
Myro, how can we share to others about our storytelling?
Okay, so in case you missed it, I did show that if you go to the app, so let me go back. Okay, let me share that again. Okay, so over here, for example, I have this storytelling app, and this is the link to that storytelling app page at the top. So when you actually go down and you press submit, then it will open a new page with a link. So this link here is a link that everybody can actually see. So for example, if I copy this link now, okay, and stop share, and I will then paste the link over here into the Zoom, then other people can open that link and you can see that app which I made just now as well. So please click on that link. Okay, so Hailey, you have a link too. Okay, fantastic. Let me click on the link and see what you have made. Okay, you did that just now?
Yeah, the same like with you actually.
Okay, very good. Let me just share what Sir Hailey was able to do just now.
I don't know.
This is his quick storytelling app, which he made just during this session. So it's about the green apple IoT. I don't know if I shared the sound, but let me hear what your story was about this as well. I'm very interested to hear your story.
I don't know what.
Let's start.
Initializing setup. Hello, I'm Runlinc Robot. Can I answer you for any question? Is it okay for you? Hope I can help more in the future. Saya boleh pandu dan juga membawa kapal terbang.
Oh man. The last sentences I use a Malay language.
That you made, yeah, very interesting. Of course, we can edit it. Sometimes the sounds don't come out like you think, do they? But you can go back and you can edit the letters so they sound better.
Yes.
Yeah. Very good. That's what we like to see. Someone straight away being able to apply it and use it.
Can we put BR?
Can we put BR in the voice to slow it down? No, you can't put a BR in the voice. But if you put a full stop in the voice, then it will pause before going to the next section. And if you put a full stop between the words, then it will actually become obviously very slow. It will say one word at a time. But also, like I said, there are some settings about the voice and also the speed of the voice.
Recording stopped.
Quite often, not just on your phone, but also on your browser.
Recording in progress.
Take a look at the settings. And there's often also speed of voice there too. Any other questions? Very good questions.
How long, Prof?
Okay, very good.
Prof, how long?
How long?
How long can we make the storytelling? Is it 10 minutes, half an hour? 1 hour? I don't know.
It can be a very, very, very long story. Yes.
Oh.
I don't know. I don't think that there's a limit. Some people have made a long story, but sometimes
really?
it's hard to listen to the whole story.
To make our baby sleep, and we can use the AI voice.
Just a quick question, Miro. Jun's, I was going to put the link there. You said you're going to update some links, is it? Because it cannot be found?
Yes, that link, because we changed the server just today, there are a few things moved around, so I quickly had to put something together so that we can at least show this. But I'm just going to finish those links as well.
Yeah. So, yeah, sorry, for the rest of the teachers, I was just going to, Ng Jun is a student from Convent Butterworth School in Penang, and she has made a storytelling app for this COVID-19, what do you call, food basket from her school. And this, basically, what they did was, they call it PGIB, is it?
PIBG.
PIBG, sorry. PIBG, or the Parents Teacher Association, fundraised about 30,000 ringgit to give the 100 girls' families who are affected by COVID-19. I think a lot of them they lost their jobs or many hardship financially. So they raised the 30,000 ringgit to give to 100 families. And so Ng Jun decided to make a storytelling app in order to thank the sponsor, because it's hard work to raise 30,000 ringgit these days, and to thank the teachers also. And so to thank the sponsors, what she did was to offer the sponsored children free training on Runlinc storytelling app, to teach them how to make storytelling apps for free. For those who are interested, you see, I think they may be about 10 sponsors to raise the 30,000 ringgit. And so that storytelling app then has a purpose. And she used that for that purpose. And also she said, I would invite them, also the sponsored children, to do free drone demonstration. Yeah, and to show them the competitive advantage of Malaysian students would be using this type of technology to save a lot of time, and also learn STEM projects, to make STEM projects which include IoT and AI. So that is one example of what I've seen. Students are capable, she's in Form 3, of being taught to do that sort of thing. So of course the sponsor get very excited rather than, they take the food, and of course it's a good thing, but now they give back. The students give back. The 100 students can give back to the sponsor and say, okay, thank you for your support in this hard time. We will provide your children, if you have children, some sort of workshops, training using Runlinc, Zoom, or Google Meet, as they normally use. So teachers then start thinking, this is beyond just learning how to code. It's actually application, simple application that will help to connect the community to the school, to the students, any students in Malaysia, not that the school. And so I think, yeah, especially the setup website is even more exciting, because a website, can you imagine the students start teaching the sponsors' children how to make their own personal website using Runlinc with 2 buttons. They can control anything, anywhere in the world. In that school has mushroom growing, so they can make an intruder alarm with 6 lines of code to stop people from stealing the mushroom. And so this simple app, it sounds like so simple, right? Can be done by students from Form 1, even upper primary schools. So when teachers are informed of things like that, it will help to get the parents' support.
Recording stopped.
When the parents support, I think it will make the teacher's job much easier and much more interesting as well.
Recording in progress.
And then I think, Miro, if you make a note to share this next webinar or whatever you call it, workshop, with KLESF, Kuala Lumpur Engineering Society or something like that, Foundation, KLESF. And I think many industries are supporting this competition for many years already.
Kuala Lumpur Engineering Science Fair, Science Fair.
Oh, Science Fair, is it?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's to promote STEM. So Miro is now working on a date, I think in about 3 weeks' time or something, 2 to 3 weeks' time. And all these teachers, PGSM teachers who have been working so hard and trying to gain some knowledge on this will be able to share the experience there too. I mean, storytelling app.
Maybe some of their apps too. It would be good to share some of the apps.
Yeah, to show the industry what Malaysian teachers are using their spare time to learn a new way of making STEM projects, which include IoT and AI, which is, of course, as I repeated so many times, the American professors told us they don't have this type of technology to teach the students. And most of their projects are never completed. These are computer science professors, STEM professors in Philadelphia. So we will cross-link PGSM to those teachers at some time and exchange ideas. They're very keen. And so, this sort of workshop is not just we spend 1 hour and then we go to the next week. I think that a little bit of discussion and idea sharing about what next to present in the next webinar. There's so many of these webinars, but I think it will be very meaningful if we can do this sort of work. Like the drone demonstration is a huge icebreaker. We did one yesterday as what we call in Cameroon. For the kids there, they had a workshop, you see, this trainer with about 20 students there, and they were controlling our drone in Australia. And they got so excited, they said, look, we've been struggling with Arduino. And one student, 13 years old, today I discovered he's already doing from 4 subjects. And he was still struggling with the Arduino. He cannot finish his robot project. So now they switch over because of the drone demonstration. And so these sort of talents, if we group them together between Africa, Malaysia, Thailand, the ASEAN country, I think you will observe a huge change in this education model. And tomorrow we'll be on Zoom on Women in Technology, which involve the keynote from America, working for Google. Is a Cameroonian woman who works in America for Google, you see, so she'll be keynote. And then our Stemsel team will be there to do the drone demonstration again. So how did we do that? If I can quickly share with you, is to get hold of the uni students. I got connected to PGSM because of Cikgu Suhaili. Somehow you were working with UPM teacher. I think Dr. Kalina, I remember the name, through a student called Momo or something like that in some of the exhibition. So this sort of cross connection, we can act very quickly because that's what we do every day, and is to connect your PGSM with other PGSM. So one of the idea maybe worth talking about at some other time, not tonight, is the formation of either STEM Teacher Association as a federation in ASEAN. If there's such a PGSM in 9 other countries, from Brunei to Indonesia to Philippines, I'm not sure. You guys are teachers, maybe there's some sort of teacher association, I'm sure. But whether it's STEM Teacher Association, I'm not sure. But if there is, then why not form a PGSM STEM Teachers Association Federation of ASEAN? Do you think it's too hard?
Yes, even in Malaysia, we're still struggling.
But, sometimes, as I mentioned, right, the struggle is based on what? It's because of lack of support. So working together with you, I'm sure like Cameroon now, we work with a lot of top university students, and they are struggling with Arduino. They're struggling with Arduino. It's not just teachers are struggling. Teachers struggling, we understand, because you guys are not like the students. They're doing engineering for 4 years. Yeah, most teachers who are asked to teach STEM are science and maths teacher. So you ask me to go and teach accounting, I think I'll be crying, man. So we know the stress of teaching STEM when you are not trained in engineering, and when they're not giving time for you to do the training, and you are expected just to train yourself and teach STEM. It's like you ask me to teach law. How am I going to teach properly?
Yeah.
So university student is your gap, is your support structure that they will gain. They will get jobs because of these teachers and university students combination like we do in Cameroon at the moment. Wow, they are top students, man, especially those who are in their own technology community, they call it. I'm not sure whether Malaysia will find out if there's engineering students technology community. Normally it's within one university, they have this.
Yes.
And this has about
internal association, normally based on faculty.
faculty.
Yeah.
Yeah, but within the uni, like in Boya University, they call it in Cameroon, one university, I think the membership is about 300. So popular. But unfortunately, they were struggling with Arduino. So we solved their problem. And they're so happy. Some of them were supposed to attend. One tried to get in just now, but I gave him the link last minute, so he couldn't. So these are engineering graduates going to be teachers, So then they will become 6 months later, a year later, teachers that already can combine with your teachers and share ideas from across. All these are what we do, and it is being done. It's possible.
Thanks, Peng. I just first of all, I'll make a comment about someone said to create maybe an international competition for Runlinc, and I think because Runlinc can work internationally and we can share so easily, I think that's an excellent idea, and so we'll maybe work on that and see if we can create an international competition. The other thing is I don't want to miss the opportunity that Yijun has actually joined this Zoom, and we have mentioned her a couple of times for the app that she did, also for Convent Butterworth School, and maybe we can hear directly from her as to how she went about making that app, and maybe how long it took for her to do that app as well, and what was the reaction maybe from other people too. So Yijun, did you want to say a few words? That would be fantastic. From someone that actually did the storytelling app for a very good purpose.
All right. So,
All
Hello,
Yijun
Yijun.
is in Form 3 in Convent Butterworth in Penang.
Oh.
so I think really maybe a few days to do because I need to make it better for my storytelling app. So the purpose I do this storytelling app is to share my gift bags to the sponsors if they have children, because I feel like besides thanking the sponsors that collected 30,000 to help my friends, my classmates, the families that are affected by COVID-19. So I felt that maybe thanking them is so normal. So I feel like maybe I can make something special, which is give back for them. So I gave 3 feedbacks, like give backs for them. Like the first feedback is give backs is by exciting the sponsors' children with the drone demonstration. And the second is teach the sponsors' children to make 7 STEM Runlinc projects, which only required mobile phone or laptops. And the third is to replace the AI drug addiction, which is like AI games, with AI STEM addiction, which also known as ASA, if the sponsor's children is addicted to AI games. So this Runlinc app help the sponsor's child who are addicted to games to save their time to go on with them. Yeah. So these are all those my gift backs.
So she's now going to share the same story tomorrow in Cameroon through Zoom, where Miro do the drone demonstration, and she will then be able to share this same story to the other girls over there. It's called Girls in STEM. She's starting a club called Girls in STEM because there's not enough girls even in Australia in STEM, only about 10%. So then these students are learning that if there is 100% boys, only 10% girls, it's only 110%. It's not 200%. So can we increase the 10% to 100% girls? So there's 100% boys, 100% girls, double the human resource, then to solve more problems, and that is part of United Nations Sustainable Development Goal, I think number 5, gender equality. You see? So these young students, if we don't coach them, if we don't mentor them, they will just be seriously, as one Cameroonian identified, memorization. Remember, Cikgu Suhaili, from beginning, we talked about this, right?
Yeah,
Runlinc is to replace memorization as much as possible with making things. To make things, you need ideas and imagination, which in Google, it means creativity. So this Cameroonian lecturer identified memorization is a problem, but he didn't have the solution. He said, you need creativity, but how do you need creativity? What do you do to get your creativity going? So I explained to him, just like Yijun, you need to make things. And what technology have you got to make things? You have two choices at the moment. Arduino, Raspberry Pi, before we come along. Now the third choice is, what do you call? This Runlinc. Oh, fourth choice, because you have microbit too. But when they started research and doing this in Bhutan, in Nepal, in Sri Lanka, they discovered that this is much more effective to replace memorization with making things, making projects using creativity. So this is seriously the beginning of a conversation in Malaysia, in ASEAN, to change the pedagogy of education model. STEM, I call it, right? STEM pedagogy. From 80% theory to 80% hands-on making things. 80% theory means memorization. You memorize all the information. Because until there is a Runlinc, it is not possible to use those technologies that are used in university to teach schools kids. It's very difficult, consistent. Whether it's America, whether it's Africa, whether it's Australia, Malaysia, it's all the same. In the last 10 years, we discovered this. So then, when we decided to make this easier for them to then replace the memorization with making things, problem-solving skills, employers like it. They'll give you all the support that you need. And this type of discussion will sooner or later, just like in India, we already have sponsorship from Intel, 100 girls using Runlinc to make projects on gender equality. So in Malaysia, I keep saying Microsoft is very active. Microsoft Malaysia, they sponsor girls. Yeah, and I saw one short video. They even brought them to the Prime Minister's office to explain STEM. Not sure how many teachers saw that. It's about during Dr. Mahathir's day, when he was still Prime Minister. So Microsoft has done a lot of things, but at that time, we didn't have Runlinc. And so that story just faded away. But today, if we recover the story and replace it with Runlinc, I'm sure you'll get a lot of support from Microsoft. Remember, I said, get them to sponsor the teachers for 5 years, you know, with the Node MCU or whatever, whole country. They are not going to lose $1. Microsoft is going to make a huge amount of money based on the good quality education of STEM in Malaysia. And they know how to do that. They have their own resources to do that. So it's a matter of giving it a try and then invite one day Microsoft managers to join this sort of conversation and be prepared to share your stories. You know? So Cikgu Suhaili and Zaki and all of you, I think, has started the ball rolling. It's going to gather more momentum. It's not going to stop. I mean, today, maybe a lot of teachers are busy. We can repeat this sort of project. It's no big deal. We will get the university students to get involved too, and start helping the teachers in different states.
Yes, today's lesson is more, I think, more simple than before, because we are no more using the HTML, JavaScript. I thought we are running from that, but we still can use JavaScript.
Yeah, it's not easy if that is not your main subject, because students spend a lot of time just to master it. and teachers have no time. You're doing multiple jobs. Your profession is no different from Australia. I tell you, the teachers here are stressed. One of the highest stress job is teaching, and because the curriculum changes all the time.
So I guess we have different levels and different needs. So for example, the storytelling app maybe can be started with some younger students on a smaller level, and then they can start learning some HTML as well. But one of the big advantages, of course, of this storytelling app is that it does take the HTML and it puts it on our server so that you can share the page. And so next week, I'm also going to show you how with a new Runlinc version 1.2, we're going to be able to give you access so you can do an upload of your pages. Whatever you've done before, the other A1 to A7 or any other apps, you can actually create your own web pages and your own websites with that version as well. And also, next week, what we will do is we're going to look further in the HTML and the JavaScript, because we're going to take the first A1 application, which was the one line of code for the camera, and we're going to show you how you can add many more lines of JavaScript to actually create object recognition. So that's actually very powerful AI, and we can explain how the JavaScript is very powerful to be able to process that as well. So the Runlinc can be used in many different levels.
I think it would be useful, Miro, maybe just in advance for those teachers who have time to go through some of these to prepare for the object recognition workshop. Maybe send out some information like some students' work, like Josh. He did a storytelling app video, so teachers can have a look at it, and maybe even the coding that he did. This boy was in primary school, 11, 12 years old at the time. And now he's 14 years old already. And he made the object recognition himself using the basic building block of the 7 projects.
Oh.
And it's possible. As I said, these students are there across Malaysia. We found them in Cameroon. You know, a 13-year-old boy is is doing from 4 subjects. There are kids like that. And those you need people like us to be able to help them, because the school will not be able to help them over there, you see. And I don't even know whether they are allowed 13-year-old to attend from 4 studies, you know.
Cannot.
Yeah, some rules, some countries, they won't allow you. Then the students suffer. You see, you don't have the flexibility there. So Miro, if you can send out some example, then the teachers can prepare themselves way ahead.
Yes, we'll put out into the group some of those examples that we mentioned today, and especially even in advance for the object recognition too.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, there will be more other examples of this storytelling app that other students like Ng Yijun has made, but because Miro changed the link, so I was not able to get it working. So I thought there's something wrong.
As soon as it's been corrected and working, I'll post that link as well for everyone to have a look at that.
Yeah, into the Telegram or something like that.
Yes.
Okay, Prof. Miro, thank you. So I think we come to the end of the webinar already. So thank you very much, Prof. I hope viewer and enjoy this amazing presentation, because I really enjoyed this amazing presentation about storytelling. Now we have come to our next session. This is a Q&A session, but I think there is no more question from the viewers. Okay, the last question is already be answered by Prof. So there is no more question. So thank you again, Prof. Miro, for answering those questions and for your precious time spent with us with the great presentation. It was indeed a pleasure to have you with us today. So with that, we conclude the webinar for today. And for your kind information, we have next session on 6 August entitled IoT camera streaming. And thank you for all for attending. We really hope you have learned and enjoyed this presentation. And thank you once again to Prof. Mero and Dr. Peng as
Welcome.
thank you for your advice and thank you for all that you teach us tonight. So thank
Always
you.
a pleasure.
Okay.
Thank you
and
very
thank
much.
you, Yi-Jun, as well.
Yes.
Yes.
Eugene has introduced another friend from Sabah. I think she's Form 4 student, Joy Wong, and only got to know her today. And so she's keen to learn also. And hopefully students also can pick up some of these ideas and then share it back into their classroom.
Of course.
We appreciate all your time too, Najib, teacher Najib, and all the
Thanks.
other teachers here. I'm sure it will get stronger and stronger because this thing is long term, in education.
Thank you, Dr. Peng. And thanks again for Yi-Jun for sharing with us. And Yi-Jun really make me more motivated to study and to do in Runlinc education. Thanks a lot to everyone.
And
So
also if you have students that are interested to learn online, because now it's lockdown,
yes,
I'm sure Yi-Jun and Joy Wong and she got a few friends now. They will go onto Zoom. This is extra curriculum, not interfering with their curriculum at all, and getting them building up whatever either girls in STEM or their STEM group, inventors group. And if you have students, you can get them to connect to Yi-Jun and their friends.
oh, of course.
Miro
Yi-Jun
has
can
all
teach
the
my
database.
student. That's good.
Junior.
Yi-Jun can share their knowledge with my student. So
Absolutely.
That's good.
Yeah. So if you arrange for a Zoom, sort of short Zoom, half an hour or up to them after curriculum, after school, I'm sure Yi-Jun will try to fit her time, and also Joy Wong can join in later and then share, because this is part of the employability that we found. I mean, Yi-Jun is among many students that we have taught in Common Butterworth, but she was extra interested, so I thought maybe I just give her some ideas. And for the last few weeks, she's been following us, attending a lot of webinar, and of course, you can see the change. From the first time she tried to share her story is different from today. And that's what I see, the progress, you see. And it motivates us as a mentor to try to give them a hand. So please welcome all the teachers, students also to learn together with these young students here.
Of course. We will plan
Thank you.
for that. Thank you, Dr. Peng. Thank you, Prof. Miro.
Thank you.
See you next week, 6 August.
Yeah. Okay.
Goodbye, everyone.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Ask the girls to create a Telegram group for junior Runlinc. Good idea. Chego, you got so many ideas there. For sure. We're happy to do that. I'm sure the girls will be, the boys and girls will be so happy to be able to share ideas together. Seriously, especially during this lockdown, right? And if they start thinking, they would save at least 2 hours per day. Some of them not going to school and not coming back home, just stay at home. So they got time. Thank you again for sharing. Thank you. See you next time.
See you
next time.
Okay.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.